Hi, what's going on everyone? My name is Aaron and my company is DJ AA Entertainment. I'm based out of Minnesota. I don't know about you, but I love to jump on YouTube and watch other DJs talk about the gear that they have and do some reviews on it. And so I decided it's time for me to start doing this myself because honestly, my wife is sick of hearing about it. I want to jump right into it to talk about one of the first pieces of gear that I bought, and that is the Bose S1 Pro. Now, the reason why I picked this up, I was doing ceremonies for another company when I first started, and I've got this big like JBL speaker, and I needed the power, and I just was like, one of the first weddings I did, I was like all the way in the back because they couldn't get me any closer, and I thought, this is not the way to go. If I'm gonna come to do these ceremonies, I wanna be able to place myself in the best place possible to spread the music out, to get the officiant heard best. But without battery, you're kind of stuck to wherever it is the power is. Plus, I'd show up at some venues or be outside and like, man, I do not want to plug into that cable. The S1 Pro, I saw it was like when it just came out, I thought this is the perfect solution for what I'm looking for because now I can be wherever. And believe me, I've shown up to weddings when I first started and forgot to ask or didn't think to ask, hey, is there gonna be power at the ceremony? And I show up and we're out in the woods, no power anywhere, and I'm looking at myself like, oh man, I'm so glad I have this thing. The price tag is $599 for it right now, which I think is a great price for a portable speaker that I don't just use for ceremony. I'll bring it with me and use it for cocktail hour. I've used it for a second speaker to hit the back of a room when I'm doing speeches. And boy, that is pretty cool, which I'll give you a bonus piece of equipment at the end if you stick around to the end. All right, let's take a closer look at this thing. First of all, you'll notice that it's not very big, but like I said earlier, it packs a punch. It's only 20 pounds, 21 pounds, and easy to transport, carry. I got it on just a tripod stand right now. When you flip around so you can see the back, we've got two input jacks here, combo jacks, so you can do XLR or 1/4 inch. And then it does the built-in tone match. This is Bose's, I don't know, how do you pluralize Bose? Bose's? Bose? Bose? I don't know. So this is Bose version of their sort of like a built-in mixer that kind of has built-in EQ effects. So right away they give you the off, they give you guitar instrument, and the second one is microphone. And let's bring you in a little bit closer so we can take a look at this. So yeah, we've got the combo jacks here. This is what I'm talking about, tone match. And then you get 3 EQ settings. You get reverb, which I've used one time, and that was when I had a vocalist that was going through here. So I was helping her out. Believe me, that was the only thing I really could do to help her when she was singing. I was like, more reverb. So you're getting reverb on that. You can adjust the bass, the treble. It's got your volume right here. Like I said, when I'm plugged into Bluetooth, which is right here, it also has an aux, an 1/8 inch aux in Bluetooth. When I'm doing like ceremony seating, I'm like about right here. You don't really have to have this thing very loud. That was the one thing I want to talk about. One of the weaknesses was the mic settings. I don't get a lot of volume out of the mic settings without a mixer connected to it. I usually have to turn it all the way up, especially with, and you guys know this, when you've got somebody that's officiating the wedding that isn't a public speaker. They're already, this far away from the microphone and they're not talking very loud. So sometimes I've noticed it's been hard to pick up the officiant with a handheld without having to really blast this thing. So my advice would be to, if you're going to use this, connect it to an external mixer, which I got a little Yamaha mixer, and then I got a power bank that I plug that into, so then I could still stay wireless. All right, so second input is exactly the same as the top here, and then like I showed you, we've got your aux 1/8 inch Bluetooth. This is how you charge it and plug it in if you want to, and it's got a line out if you want to connect another one, and then here's USB. That's if you want to do software updates. Since I've had it, I think I haven't had to do any. They fixed a bug where the battery wasn't lasting as long as it should. Speaking of the battery, let's talk about the battery. When you're charging it, you want to go ahead and push the button down to that one, and that gives you to charge. As you can see, I'm getting red. I don't have a lot of juice left in this thing, so when you turn it on, you get a little blue light, and then it'll tell you. Right now I can tell that I knew it. I was like, I'm gonna talk about my S1, and it's not charged. Now let me show you just how quickly that this thing syncs up to your iPad. This is the iPad that I use when I'm doing a ceremony. I have it on this kind of stand right here that I take. Actually, this is the one I use for my reception, but I have a black one that I use for ceremony, so it matches everything. But if we go ahead and turn on my iPad, I'm using a DJ Pro here, and honestly, like, I just turned it on, and I'm just gonna throw a song on here, and just so that I don't get copyright tagged here, I'm gonna put Aaron Carter on here because he ain't coming after me. Just in case Aaron Carter I don't know that dude, he might come after me. But did you see how very quickly, here, I'll play another song, and that way I don't get in trouble again. We'll do another song, and by the way, this app is just so cool. You see here, I've got all my music on here. You can just kind of scroll through here. We'll do a little Harry Styles, put that in deck 2, turn that down. What I want to show you now is just how quick the Bluetooth is. Boom, like it's It's really, really, really quick, guys. All right, so there you have it. That's the Bose S1 Pro. I've had this thing about 2 years. Like I said, the applications I use it for, mostly ceremonies and cocktail hour. I know some of you guys have 2 of them, which I get that, and a second one would be nice. But I will say this, I have the Maui 5 Go. I'm going to do a review on that soon. And the reason why I bought that was I got that for the larger ceremonies, when I have more people at the wedding, you know, like 100 plus or 150 plus at the ceremony. I think it just needs a little bit more, not just for the music. The music is fine. This can handle the music perfect. It would just be for the vocals. That though, when I connect it to, you know, I have this connected to a wireless microphone. I have a Sennheiser G4. It is still pretty loud too. So I may have bought the Maui 5 Go without really needing it. I haven't taken it out with me other than at a wedding fair. For right now, the S1 Pro, solid option for you for ceremonies, cocktail, that extra speaker you might need for the back of the room to get the speeches out. Oh, that reminds me, here was the bonus little piece of gear I was gonna talk about. And it's these Sennheiser XW, what are they called? I'm back, sorry, I had to look it up because, you know, the one thing I don't like about all this gear is all the numbers and letters. I don't know, but you guys, when I try to like remember all these things, it's just, so this is the Sennheiser XSWD XLR, and they're wireless transmitters that I got. I'll give you some advice though. I originally bought these to be a wireless microphone for ceremonies. When I saw this, I'm like, oh, I bought them immediately. And I tried it out at the ceremony. I tested it out at my house. Everything was working fine. I got to the ceremony and I was getting that dropout sound. I'm like, what the hell is going on? What I come to learn is that they need like perfect line of sight. You really have to have a great line of sight. So the problem with see what I'm saying? With the SS, with this is that the mixer's kind of behind it, right? So if I plug this in to one of the inputs, yeah, you can't even see it, right? Because it's right there. You can't really see it. And so I had this plugged into a microphone, and I was like, oh man, I gave it another shot, and I had a wedding where it was just a disaster. It just, so many dropouts. It was one of those situations where your heart just drops. You're just like, oh my God. So what I did was I picked up, this is when I had the JBL Eon 1 Pro. I picked it up and I was just sort of like, I was on the side and I just kept moving closer and closer to the side, to the front of the ceremony where they were. And when I did that, it got better. It was one of those times where I had egg on my face. I went up to the bride and I apologized. I'm like, I'm so sorry that we had that sound. And she was like, no, it's cool. It's all good. I'll address that really quickly. I think the reason why when things don't go well, And it has happened. I mean, I could do a whole video on mistakes I've made. You'd probably love it and just be like, oh, Aaron, God. I think the reason why they haven't gone sideways or bad reviews is that I'm so intentional on building a relationship with the couple before the wedding. Everything that leads up to it, we're on the phone, quick communication. I never leave them hanging. If they email me, I'm very quick to get back to them, even if it's night. And that's just my thing, right? I just want them to know, hey, you need something, I'm here. I'm not gonna leave you hanging for 3-4 days or a week. I got you. Then I'm here to make the event work well. I want it to run smoothly. So I give them advice and help, whatever. I think so building a relationship with them when things don't maybe go according to plan, I'm not saying it gives you a full pass, but it helps. It helps because I was embarrassed when these things dropped out. And I, went up to her and said I was sorry, and it was fine. The rest of the night was a total banger. In fact, so much so that venue that I was at added me to their preferred vendor list. It wasn't because of these. Why are you telling me this, and why should I even buy these things? Because what they're great for and what I use them now is as a remote speaker. So if I need my S1 as a speaker in the back or farther in the front of the room, I do the XS. I connect these to them, and that works flawlessly. No problems there. But as a microphone, I won't use these as a microphone ever again. That's a little extra tip, and I'll have links in the description on where you can get all these things. Hey, thanks for watching my first video. I'll do more of them. Look, I know I gotta tell you to subscribe and do all that. Just if you like this and you like me, you will. So I don't need to tell you to do that shit.